Hey guys, it's Izzy here, and I know this is not the same background as it usually is, and it kind of looks like crap, and the lighting's all weird, and like I'm behind my bed. Um, this looks kind of weird, probably, but I just felt like I need to film this video because it's something that is very important to me, and I'm just gonna lay it out for you guys. Okay, so if you haven't been on Twitter lately or you haven't checked the news about entertainment recently, last night, sometime yesterday, for me, is when I found out that the Netflix shows The Society and I Am Not Okay with This were canceled due to COVID issues with having to be in quarantine and waiting for the vaccine to come out and like not knowing when the shows will be able to film next, all that other stuff going on due to coronavirus. When both of them, I assume The Society is just one season in, and as well as I'm Not Okay with This. But yeah, it was quite shocking news. I am a part of the community that is an I'm Not Okay with This fan and like is outraged by this. And I have not seen The Society, but I do know that like The Society, along with I'm Not Okay with This, is a very, for lack of better words, like forward thinking show. Like it has like a lot of diversity in the cast, whether it's people of color or people in the LGBTQ community. And I think there are supernatural elements in this show as well as I'm Not Okay with This. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't educated myself on what is in the show. But the point is, because of those reasons, The Society and I'm Not Okay with This are very, very important shows to a lot of people my age or a bit older, or like hell, my mom likes the show. She watched I'm Not Okay with This and she loved it apparently. Like anybody can watch these two shows and enjoy it. The thing that I've gathered a lot from people's tweets about this news is that, and it's something that I agree with, is that people feel like they're being represented through these shows because they have anxiety or they have depression or they have a tough home life or they are having a hard time coming out to their peers and their family. And it's going to be sad to see these characters go so soon without their story not even being fully fledged out. Like we're only one season into I Am Not Okay with This, and I relate to Sid and Stanley the most out of all the other characters. Like I am the outsider, and I am bisexual if you didn't know, and I am awkward, and I have a weird taste in music apparently from what my peers have said, and I have a weird taste in music, whatever. I do feel like I'm being represented through the show. Like I see myself in all these characters. And that's not something that I can say for a lot, if not all, of the other teen shows or coming of age TV shows nowadays. Here's where the frustration and the anger kicks in. They have canceled these two shows, but they are keeping Riverdale on their streaming service, which, I mean, it's Riverdale. Do I need to say anything about Riverdale? No, I didn't think so. They're also making a third movie for the Kissing Booth series, which I watched. Unfortunately, I watched the Kissing Booth on my own free time when it first came out because I was just interested. I was just like, whatever, haven't heard of this before, thought it looked interesting, whatever. It glamorizes abusive relationships. It glamorizes sexual assault and sexual harassment, and it romanticizes like toxic masculinity. And I've heard from, I haven't watched The Kissing Booth 2, but I watch movie commentaries on YouTube if I'm being honest, and I've also heard comments about the movie from Twitter that the LGBTQ community was not at all represented well and correctly in this movie, which also makes me really upset. Oh, and I just realized they're also keeping Stranger Things, which I'm not trying to like trying to dumb down like trash Stranger Things at all. I love Stranger Things with my whole heart. And there's nothing wrong with the show. I just think that like even though they're 2 episodes into filming the next season, they're keeping it. And all the stuff that everybody knows is just like, I honestly feel like the people that are working at Netflix like don't care about like, sure, they say that it's like a COVID issue, they're canceling it because of COVID, but like with everybody and everything having to do with like what times we're in nowadays, with Black Lives Matter, with the quarantine and everything that's going on right now, people need to be called out for their bullshit. There must be workers in Netflix that just don't care and don't like the forward thinking that these shows have, and how nobody is based on racial or sexual stereotypes. Nobody is being sexualized. Nothing dodgy is actually going on behind the scenes. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, these 2 shows are actually good from what I've heard about the society and what I've seen of I Am Not Okay With This, while Riverdale, Kissing Booth. Oh, I haven't heard of Cuties either, but I've heard that like something sketchy is going on with that movie too. And it's like with the things that Netflix is supporting right now, I just, you know what? I'm just not even gonna beat around the bush. Somebody must be racist. Somebody must be sexist, homophobic, transphobic. I don't care. Like, there's gotta be like some, like, oh, we don't want accurate representation. Like, you know what? That's the truth. I expressed a lot of my thoughts that I've just spoken about on Twitter. And one of the things I replied to somebody's tweet. It was actually pretty funny. Let me see here. Somebody that has the Netflix like profile pic and Netflix like name, like username, said, "Okay, fine, we canceled I'm Not Okay With This because we hate dykes. Can you all stop yelling now?" And it was like, people thought that it was actually Netflix saying this, but it wasn't. It was just a fan account. And I responded with, but like, imagine the bullshit Netflix would tell us in response to this. We all know COVID is not the reason why the show got canceled. And you know how many people, even though it's not, and I posted this like an hour ago, and so many people have been getting likes from their own comments about this. How many people have already responded to this? About 10 people. And even though that's not a lot, it's a lot considering that I'm just a small account. And and the person that originally tweeted this responded to me saying this: "It's so fucking frustrating. We finally get great representation in media and it doesn't get past the first season. They are not sly." And you know what? You put my words into, I'm following this person now because like, you have put my thoughts into words so well. Thank you so much. And like this Twitter user said, Netflix is not being sly at all. They aren't being smart, sly, anything you want to call them. You know, it's just, no. I'm not putting up with people's bullshit anymore about that. Okay, before I end this video, I would just like to, I also tweeted about this on my Twitter, but I would just like to bring this onto YouTube too so that I can start a conversation properly in the comments. What if hypothetically, I don't know what legal action would need to be taken for this to actually happen, but what if the person, I think it was Jonathan Entwistle, who is the director of I'm Not Okay With This, who brought the idea of this show to Netflix or something, I don't know, but what if whoever was in charge of bringing the show idea to Netflix, what if they brought it to another streaming service? Like, I tweeted about this, I already said that, but what if, like, whoever brought this to Hulu or Prime Video or HBO Max, I think that's what the streaming service is called. What if they just went to them and was just like, "Hey, Netflix canceled our show. can you guys pick it up for a season 2 and give us a budget? We need to do that. And the cast and the crew just like come back and they like do the season 2 and hopefully get a season 3 and a season 4, whatever. Um and you know what? The fans do get what they want in the end. I think that would be such a good idea. If anybody knows what legal action needs to be taken for this to happen and has done their research, could you please let me know down in the comments? I would really appreciate getting educated about that. And I just like to say that I think that I'm not okay with this for me. It is my favorite show because not only do I feel represented and I feel like I see myself in these characters, also like it just warms my heart to know that like people understand what teenagers are going through nowadays, and that like where people are. Oh, my phone. Oh, I got another like from my comment that I just talked about. Anyways, it's good to know that people like care about putting thought into these plot lines and these characters, and people actually want to take their time to understand, you know, and like speak to these teenagers are playing teenagers. Like you rarely see that nowadays, and we all know that. And I feel like the cast of crew of I'm Not Okay With This know kind of why people adore this show, but like they also don't. Because a lot of the time when I first watched the show, I sobbed. Because I was like, this is so heartwarming. This is so sweet. This is so funny. And like the one scene, I talked about this when I was reviewing the show. If you haven't seen my season 1 of I'm Not Okay With This review, definitely go check that out on my channel. But I talked about the scene where like Stan was like dancing around in his room, singing, dancing to King of Rock and Roll, or the scene that Sid had with her mom when her mom was telling her about what happened to her dad, and Sid's mom said like, if you're ever feeling the same way that your dad did, you need to talk to me because that is important. Those feelings, your feelings are valid, and you need to like get some help. And I think that like that is so important. I always want to like. I love seeing that kind of like stuff being brought up, and being brought up the correct way instead of it being romanticized like it has in like 13 Reasons Why. That's the thing that's always been brought up, especially during this conversation. And all the good representation, the good plot line, along with such sweet cast members. This march at the Teen Cancer America 5K walk, I went with Teen Cancer America, and I met Wyatt, and I met Jaden, and I met Jake, and I met Jaden and Wyatt's mom. Not Jane and Wyatt's mom. They're not siblings. I met Jennifer, Olaf, and I met Angela, and they're all so sweet, and they really care about representing people, and they just care about their stories so much, and it was an amazing experience, and it's really good to know. I'm just gonna keep on repeating myself, but yeah, I would really appreciate if you guys sparked a kind, polite, respectful comment down in the comments. Respectful conversation in the comments. I don't know if that's what I said. I'm glitching right now. Yeah, talk to me in the comments. And also like this video if you agree with everything or most of what I said in this video, and if you aren't subscribed to me already, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz, and my social media accounts will be in the description bar down below if you want to go check me out. I did post about the Teen Cancer America walk on my Instagram and my Twitter and my Facebook. I don't know if I have my Facebook down in the description bar, but if you would like that, if you'd like to find my Facebook, then I will put it down there for the next video, and as well as my Goodreads account is down there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Bye, guys.